Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be updating you guys on that storminess out west, the historic snowfall potentially, as well as some severe weather in the southeast, and that potential big pattern change. Now, before I get into things, be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. There's not going to be a comment of the day today because tomorrow, yes, on December 26th, I will be traveling in the middle of the night tonight into tomorrow, unfortunately. I know it's probably the worst time to be traveling, but that's what I will be doing. With that said, Merry Christmas, everybody. I think I've forgotten the past 2 years when it was Christmas to actually say Merry Christmas, because when you wake up at 5, you can't really tell what day it is, or 4 in my case. It's kind of hard to tell where you're at, what time it is. I don't even remember what state I'm in sometimes. So, Merry Christmas, I did remember this morning, though. I'm getting a little bit more used to it. Now, things are pleasant for some folks, and some things are not so pleasant for other folks. We do have a lot of snowfall up here, particularly up here. The good news is for you in the south here, things have dried out here on Christmas thus far. Also for the southeast, things are rather dry. It's mostly here in the northeast as well, and then the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes where we do have some precipitation coming down. Let's just go ahead and zoom into the west real quickly. We can see that there is, like I said, plenty of that snowfall. We see a lot of that energy still moving onshore to the west coast. This has been going on for a long time. We even had a hail report there for coastal California. Very weird. We do have some snowfall coming down here for northern California, and then also portions of Washington here, mountainous regions of Washington and Oregon especially. Then the Rockies, it's kind of spotty, but we do have some of that going on. It's such a large region that, it's snowing some places, it's not snowing other places. But overall, everybody's getting accumulations of snowfall. I want to see if we can see exactly what happened with this hail report. If there was like a heavier, yeah, I guess there was a band of heavier thunderstorms in this area overnight. I knew there was a chance for thunderstorms here, but that's pretty interesting right there. Huh. I'm guessing it wasn't rather large. We'll see. I just need to wait for this to come in, and then we can see how large that hail was. Okay, 0.3 inches, so wasn't major by any means. Let's take a look here at the northeastern corner of the United States. We can see that there's been some heavier precipitation, and if this winter was normal, we would be seeing snowfall, but it's not normal, so there's no snowfall. Mostly this precipitation is bottled up in here, and actually the unfortunate thing in this case is it's actually quite heavy, especially here in this southern extent. So this is going to be a bit of a nuisance storm. We do have a lot of snowfall coming down for these regions, basically, is where snow is going to be able to happen, and anywhere outside of there, really, it's going to be mostly rainfall. But we are having a white Christmas in New York, probably going to have it in Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont, and then eventually New Hampshire, Rhode Island maybe, and even Maine as well later on today. So we'll take a look at that in the model guidance. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to take a look at that model guidance right now. Actually, real quickly, we're going to be taking a look at the 72-hour snowfall analysis here. This is basically all the snowfall that has happened over the past 72 hours. Just so we can see how things are progressing with this historic snowfall so far. And as you can see, just gargantuan amounts over the past 72 hours. It's already come down in here for the West Coast and for the Rockies. We could see plenty of those blues, which is 1 to 6 inches of snowfall, but we could see way more than that. We see 6 to 12, plenty of that in there. These magentas are 12 to 24. We see a lot of that, but we also see a lot of those golds in the past 72 hours, which is 24 to 36. But we see some of those bright colors here for some of the Sierra Nevadas here, some of the Cascades, and also some of the Southern Rockies, where it turns kind of yellowish, and that is 36 inches plus. Wow. Yeah, taking a look at a ton of that snowfall. That's over a foot per day for 3 days in a row in those yellowish, goldish areas. So we are taking a look at just heavy, and insane snowfall total so far, and it isn't even nearly done here for this stormy period we're going to be in. This ended last night, by the way, so this is through 7 p.m. on December 24th. It's obviously 5:41 on December 25th, Christmas Day, right now, but nevertheless, this was the 3 days before today total, and that kind of gives us an idea of what we were looking at. Now here is that model guidance, and this is going to be this morning. Let's just move this forward, and this is going to be by the time we're reaching tomorrow. We can see that snowiness is just going to continue. Again, I've talked about it, but two low pressure systems at once, both going to be taking a similar track, and it's going to feel like it just doesn't end at any point, really. So super interesting situation there. And really, we don't see this pattern end at all until we see this one move out, this 991 millibar low pressure center here. We see this one move out. We see the severe weather take place here potentially. And that's kind of a sign of the end of that snowiness out west. We do have some cape in place around the 29th, as you can see, for the Gulf states. We've been eyeballing this. This is when there will be a very small chance at severe weather here for Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, and maybe even Tennessee as well, I would say, with those high cape amounts there. Let's keep moving this forward, and that's when we can see some snowiness continues in here, but we do see, in general, the jet stream kind of looks like this, so more of a trough in the east by the time we're reaching the morning hours of December 31st here. And then really we see this pattern take hold by the time we're looking at January 3rd. So progressively, this model really does have us getting a trough in the east overall. Still some snowiness up here in the northwest. A little bit of some storms trying to build in here. That could be the recipe that we need for East Coast snowstorms. But this is the long range, so we are watching this closely, but really not getting too hopeful yet. Let's take a look at the temperature anomalies by this point. So you can see it's kind of undecided. See, there's kind of cold everywhere, mostly cold in the west and in the east here, I would say. And then the central, there's some warmth in there, but also some very cold temperatures. This looks like a confused pattern to me, but only time will really tell what ends up happening overall. Let's take a look here at our total snowfall, and just massive amounts. Now, the one thing that's interesting, first off, this has stayed the same, huge amounts. We have progressively been seeing this increase, these amounts up here for the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. This has stayed the same, very small amounts for the Northeast, and then nothing for this area here, which has been the trend all winter. I live in that region, so rest assured I am suffering with you guys. For some of us snow lovers, I am suffering for sure. Here is our West Coast. We can expect 100+ inches throughout all of these mountain ranges: Washington, Oregon, California, even Idaho there, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico. And remember, a lot of these regions have seen 36 inches plus over the past 72 hours. So they've already seen a ton of snowfall, and they're expecting these totals on top of it. All you need to know is that these kind of pinkish colors are your 36 to 48 inches plus here through 10 days. And we can see the maximum here is 171 inches there, somewhere in here. So there's just huge amounts of snowfall expected here throughout the western United States. Let's move up to the central United States real quickly. And we can see that there's expected to be, over the next 10 days, about 10 inches plus in this pink region, and then maybe even 20 inches plus here in this region for portions of North Dakota, Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, and then the upper peninsula of Michigan there as well. As we move quickly to the east, and I should really just move to the northeast real quick because there's no point in even looking at everywhere. And we can see that there is, in general, 2 to 6 inches of snowfall expected in these blue regions, a lot of which is coming today. So take that as you wish, but that means not a lot is expected afterwards. Maybe a dusting, if anything, at points in these gray regions. We do expect maybe 6 to 10 here in these purple areas here, and then these pinks are going to be your 10 inches plus potentially. But this is tiny amounts for your typical winter in a 10-day period for these New England states. And we all kind of think there's a good chance that, January 1st could be the turning point for the pattern, but it could not as well. I've seen winters go like this, and then it always kind of seems like in the long range there's a big switch up happening, but then it just keeps extending until you're into March, and then it's too late. So we'll watch. Hopefully that doesn't happen. We'll be watching for that situation closely. Anyway, for today's confidence tab, we are at a 4 out of 6 again. We've been going over the whole 10-day period for the last few days, and that's why we've remained at the same confidence level. For today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, when do you think the eastern United States could see cold and snow? And James Marr said, I believe the East will have to wait until the start of January for cold and snow. Happy holidays to everybody. Yes, Merry Christmas, everybody, and happy holidays. I think that January 1st could be that turning point. It sounds like James Marr thinks it could be as well, but only time will really tell. For today's Patron Highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our Platinum patrons, Bill Crates, James Wade, Dovey Nagel, Little Pan, Mandy Birchfield, and Patrick Strickland as well as Dave Scott and Donna Carnes. Sorry about that. I'm still used to the old Patron Highlight screen. For today's Diamond patrons, I'd also like to thank you guys for supporting the channel. Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Cotalessa, Catbite, Charles Tinnett, Bill Dallas, Gary's, and John Colisi also. I would also like to thank our channel members, Catbite, Stephen Fan, and Jeremy Cox also. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.